Hi, friends. Happy Thursday. So, I'm doing something a little bit different today. We're actually going to be running our Tune In Thursday from my personal Facebook page and crossing it over. So, that's going to go into my private Facebook page as well. Anyhow, I'm really excited to be here. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an overview of Tune In Thursday and why I do these. And I actually started doing Tune In Thursday. Oh golly, let's see. I want to say almost 4 years ago. And it started right before I became a coach. And it was just a time for me to share and to support and help people in a way that I really felt was accessible. And I was just learning so much at the time, and I just wanted to drop the wisdom in with other people too. And so I want to continue these. I am continuing these. I've restarted them. And the question is, why Thursday? Well, because Thursday to me is like a checkpoint. It's either we're racing towards the weekend because we maybe don't love what we're doing in our work and we just want to vacate, right? Or we're actually feeling really inspired and empowered in the work that we're doing and we feel really good about our creation. So I look at all of that and I am just really grateful, I guess you can say, that Thursday was the day that dropped in for me and I share it with you. So we're going to get started as people jump on, and there will be a replay on this. So today, and I actually put this in my tribe, in the self-love tribe, each week I've been doing a poll on what they want to hear about. And this week they actually wanted to hear about how to attract healthy relationships. And I love this one. And I've been sitting with it for the last couple of days, and I'm like, okay, how can I really serve you guys in attracting healthy relationships? And I want to really put it out there that this is not just about attracting a healthy romantic relationship. This is about attracting healthy relationships, period. Like friendships, right? Co-working relationships, landlord relationships, familial relationships. How do we keep attracting that? I know family is family, but we can still find ways to create a higher vibration to be in our familial relationships, right? So I'm going to give you 5 tools today and feel free to write these down because these will be really, really valuable for you, that you're going to want to pay attention to. All right. So number 1 is that you can take accountability. So accountability in our relationships is really important. What does accountability mean? It means that you're taking ownership of your own thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors, right? Oftentimes when we have some kind of trauma or, past limiting beliefs, issues, maybe from our childhood, we have a harder time taking accountability because we had been taught something called the victim mentality. Well, in my book, we are not victims. We aren't. We really aren't. We rise above victimhood because we have and hold the power. This is our time to take our power back, and a big part of that is holding ourselves accountable. Okay, so that is number 1. Number 2 is, can you be alone? Okay. And I'm not saying loneliness. I'm saying, can you be alone? Can you enjoy your time by yourself in your own company? Because, and I want you to answer that question really honestly, because if the answer is no, then you have some work to do around that, right? Why am I not able to be alone? And this is where mentors and therapists and books and things like that come in, because then we start falling into things like trauma bonds and codependency and weak boundaries because we don't know how to hold those boundaries within ourselves. We don't know ourselves very well, and we're afraid to be alone. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, and this one is really interesting, but what I like to say is, do not be interested in falling in love too fast. And that means like even meeting a new friend, right? Do not rush into relationships with people, because people, you need time to get to know each other, as whether it's as friends, whether it's as if you're religious in your congregation, you're getting to know people in your congregation, you're getting to know romantic relationships. Do not fall in love with people too fast, because the thing is that you will know you align if you can hold healthy boundaries, if you can hold yourself accountable, if you know what your core values are, right? This is a really big part of it. So when we fall in love too fast with people, sometimes we kind of lose ourselves along the way, and then we end up getting involved in things like people pleasing, right? We end up doing things that we don't want to be doing because we want to appease someone else. And why did that happen? Because we fell in love a little too fast with what we wanted this friendship, this relationship to be, and then you start slapping on all these expectations, right? So slow and steady for sure wins the race here. That is number 3. Number 4, communication. How are your communication skills? How are they? Communication was a tough one for me. Because I didn't have a really great relationship with myself at first, and I really had to work deeply with my own communication. Okay, what is it? How am I communicating with myself and with my body, right? And this is why yoga is such a big practice for me, because I look at yoga, and yoga allows me, okay, I'm checking in. How am I feeling right now? Oh, whoa, my breathing, is a little off. Oh, I'm clenching my jaw right now. Whatever it is. Oh my God, my mind is going, right? So I find all of these really helpful as a way to communicate with myself. Keep checking in with yourself. Learn how to communicate with yourself, and then also practice communication. Healthy communication with people can actually be really beautiful. I'm not saying people are not going to trigger you, because they will. We are here to be reflections for each other as we grow. But communicate with people, right? By setting boundaries, communicate your feelings and emotions. And I'm not saying point the finger and say, hey, you did this to me and therefore, right? It's not about that. It's about, that's where the accountability comes in, but it's about being able to communicate in I feel, right? I feel really hurt that you did that your actions made me feel this way, right? And so, that's one way of communication. And there are all kinds of really great communication books out there. And if you're talking like romantic relationships, one of my favorite books that is like my go-to is simple. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's a really great book. I've read it a couple of times, and I'll probably read it again, because I constantly look to that book as a guide for communication. Okay, so that's number 4. Now we go into number 5. Know your love languages. Your top 2 love languages. And if you don't know what your love languages are, there is a free quiz that you can take, and just put it in Google or whatever, love language quiz, and find out what your top 2 are, because there are 5 in this. You want to find out, is my love language quality time? Is it physical touch? Is it words of affirmation? Is it receiving gifts? I always blank on the last one. Words of affirmation, receiving gifts. I cannot remember the last one for the life of me. That one always comes up for me. Anyway, there is a number 5 on that, and I'm gonna put these. I'll actually link it below, so you guys can go straight to the love language test. And highly suggest knowing your own love language, because guess what? When you know more about yourself, you can communicate and share with other people, hey, my love language is quality time. So when you're giving me words of affirmation and I need actual time with you, I don't feel loved right now. Thank you, Nora. Acts of service. I appreciate the help on that one. Acts of service. That's the 5th one. That's the one I always forget, because acts of service is not my primary love language. My primary love language is quality time and physical touch, actually. So knowing your love language, and know this with your friends, know this with your family, know this with your beloveds, because it's so important. And then you start to actually feed each other from that place of love. And this is how you start attracting healthy relationships. You start allowing all the toxicity to fall away, because we don't want, right? We know what we don't want. And so if we know what we don't want, we know what we do want when it comes to our relationships. And so I want you to take a moment right now and just to feel into that. What do I really want? And get intentional with this out of my relationships. And you can actually write this down in your journal and make a list of what do I want in my familial relationship. What would I really love in that? And then I want you to go down into your romantic relationship, whether or not you're partnered up. What would I love more of in my current relationship with my partner? Or what would I really love in a relationship with a partner? And you go to your friendships. What would I really love in my friendships? And then when you know all 5 of these, you can start moving towards creating a healthier dynamic in your relationships with much more intention. It's not about obligation. You can choose the people in your life. You can choose. Choose from your heart space. Because guess what? We are not obligated to people. We are not. And this is where we start to break those patterns, those habits that have been toxic to us. That's the people pleasing. That's the codependency. That's all the stuff that we do not need or want. Okay. So I'm just going to review those 5. We have accountability. We have you can be alone. Not being interested in falling in love too fast. Communication. Number 4, and knowing your love languages, top 2 love languages. All right, so lastly for today, my darlings, is I'm going to do a card pull. I felt really called to use my Archangel deck today. So I'm going to actually pull this for the collective because today is 11/11. Today is November 11th. Today's a portal. Okay, let's be real. Let's get a little, woo-woo here. It's 11/11. It is a portal. There are a lot of things manifesting right now, and this is a really big time that you get to really take that ownership of your life. So sit with this day if you're kind of feeling some energy and some emotions around, really anything, whatever it's coming up for you. Notice that, and today is a really good day for you to have a little stillness. Okay, as we're moving through, we're also moving into eclipse season, but we're not going to talk about that quite yet. We'll go into that next week. All right, so I'm going to be pulling a card for the collective on what can serve us as a community, as the collective. What do these archangels want to say to us? And here's our card. Oh, we actually got 2 cards. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. I love this, actually. Okay. We got the Indigo and Crystal Children card, and this also fell out too, which is Hello from Heaven. All right, so what this represents for me, for you, is this has a lot to do with your inner work, and your inner child work, and really embracing that inner child, because our relationships are a deep, deep, deep reflection of our inner child wounding. So pay attention to that. That's this card. Now, when it says Hello from Heaven, this is typically people who have crossed over. So if you have people in your life that have left this planet, right, and that have left their body, they know this, that they are your guides. Your angels are your guides. Like my mom is my guide, and I can feel her, and I talk to her. I'm communicating with her in a whole new way now. But just trust that you're being loved on, you're being protected, you're being guided by those people that you have impacted and that have impacted you, and they're watching over you. So just know that you can talk to them at any time and gather strength, gather protection, gather safety, gather guidance. Okay. Well, thank you for being here with me. I'm sending so much love to you guys. And I will be back next week at 11:11 for our next Tune In Thursday. And I'll see you then. Be well.